it's Mrs. Girot, and I just wanted to bring you some video directions for Project 3, Surrealism. Head into your image design class and scroll through the table of contents and look for the Project 3, Surrealism folder. Directions. Create a surrealism design. In this assignment, you will learn about Salvador Dali and create a design that reflects your subconscious mind and dreams. Number 1, watch the videos below. Number 2, click the drop box below and see the directions and rubric. Here are the videos. The first video, Get Surreal with Salvador Dali, is fun. Go ahead and click on that. And let's see here. Oh, look at that. It'll just start playing for you right there on your screen. And then the next video that you come to is actually going to require, once you click play, that you click here, okay? She wants to get credit for having all of those hits on her site, so you'll need to do that for that second video, which is not a big deal. And then let's see here, you'll have a third video. So in these videos, the first video is going to teach you the masking technique, which you also, if you did your lesson on masking, you learned masking in one of the lessons. And but she explains it really well. So this is so worth your time. I do want to remind you that you can find public domain images at creativecommons.org. These are images that are free for your use. You don't have to worry about getting sued if you post them somewhere on the internet, because that can happen. And I'm going to go ahead and look up horse, since she did a horse in that video. And I just like to click on the Google images. Notice that you can look for free media images. If you want to find something for commercial purposes, if you're making a logo or something for somebody, you can click that. I'm just going to modify, adapt, and build upon something. I'm not actually going to be selling anything. So I'm going to click images. And let's see here. And find, oh, look how beautiful horses are. This looks pretty similar to the one that she did, right? I'm just going to go ahead and click on that one. And I'll right click and copy this image. Open up my GIMP and edit, paste as new image. So there we go. I've got my image, view zoom, fit image in window. And I want to start saving right away. File, save as. I go to my pictures. I like to save things in my pictures, image design, 2017-18, and I will just save it right here. Remember to save first. Whoops, not sure where that started typing, but I'm trying to type up here at the top. I don't want to get rid of the .xcf because that's the file extension. So keep that part, but you can change it to your first and your last name. Remember, it's your first and last name because it's your work. Just like if you put your name on your paper, I still have students that put my name on their work. It's really interesting to me. Rachel Girot, surrealism.xcf is how you'd want to save that. Save it right away, because remember, GIMP uses a lot of RAM, and if it starts to get sticky or frozen, you just have to go File, Save, or Control S, and it will free up your RAM for you again. So I want to keep my original horse, so I'm just going to right click on this, or double click on it, and I will name it Original Layer. You always want to keep your original layers, right? Original layers. So if you mess up, you have it. Hit Enter. And then you're going to right click and duplicate the layer. Super easy. Double click the one on top and call this your horse layer. You could even call it your horse mask, since I'm going to be making a mask with it. Hide the original layer. You don't want that showing up underneath because you will see it as you're making your mask and it won't look like you're making a mask. Hide it and lock it. You can't touch it. And then make sure that you're working in the horse mask layer. I'm just going to quickly do the technique that she did in there, where she created a mask. Right click, add layer mask, white, full opacity, and there's my mask. The black is telling me that the horse image is not selected. The white around is telling me that this one is. And then remember, all she did was grab a paintbrush. Having is that I've got a blank brush. So I need to pick a brush. I'm going to go with one that has a fuzzy edge. Okay, so now that I have a brush, there we go. It's working. So you can get a bigger brush. You don't have to work with such a small brush so that you can cover more space quickly. And if you're just trying to, freezing. So it turns out I ran into a problem because the size of the brush that I used was so large that my computer crashed. So that could happen to you. Just get a smaller brush size. And so here I am, I'm working on my mask just like V Scorpion did in her video. And it's super easy, all right, if you follow all the steps carefully. Okay, so as you can see, I've got my mask, and what she didn't show you was how to use the mask. So now you're going to go layer, new layer, okay, and you'll call this background, for example. And you want it to be, I always pick transparency. So I'm going to pick transparency, and I want that layer to be underneath my horse. The horse is going to be on top of the background, right? So try moving it down. For me, that's not working since I'm making a video, so I have to go to stack, and I have to lower my layer manually, which is fine. I'm going to go back to Creative Commons. Okay, you've got to start your search at the Commons in order to get, and let's see, where might you find a horse? That wouldn't belong there, obviously. Maybe in Times Square. Let's see. So grabbing a nice little picture of Times Square, I will go with this one right here. Like the angle of it, and I'm going to right click and copy that. Go back over to my GIMP. Make sure I'm in my background layer, and I'm going, well, it's actually, you know what? Let's see if I paste it. There it goes. Oh, I don't want that Bud Light advertisement. Right click on that and put to, yeah, I'll just go ahead and go to new layer. So I really didn't need to create that, but those are little things that as you go, you learn. I'm going to, you'll notice it's on top again, so I have to move it down. It's not going to do it for me manually. Don't lock it. Okay, so now that it's moved down, I'm going to grab my move tool, but I better click save because I need to free up some RAM. Grab my move tool, make sure I'm on that layer, and then I can slide that over so that whatever I want in the background is there. So how fun is that? Okay. So anyway, there we go. That's a fun little example of surrealism. I know that you can do much better, but that is basically what you would be doing. Do not ever, I don't care if those tutorials that I share with you say to merge your layers, do not ever merge your layers. I want to see your work. Whenever you're done with a layer, lock it so it cannot accidentally be changed. There's tons of other things that you could add to this. So although there is a minimum requirement of just 2 images coming together, please go the extra mile, go the extra distance, make it unexpected, make it whimsical, make it fun, make it awesome. I want to give you extra credit points, okay? This other video right here teaches you a different way to do it. The way I taught you is non-destructive because the layer mask doesn't destroy the original image. This is destructive though. You're going to be erasing part of the image. And that's okay. You can use either method you want, and that's why I taught them to you. Remember, the rubric says that 30 points, at least 2 images are unified so that they look like one image, okay? So that means you've got to do a really nice job on your selecting and erasing. 10 points, the images used are separate layers. Do not merge. And 10 points, the design is thought-provoking. So this is important. This 10 points, I'm going to weigh heavily. This better be good. This better be exciting. This better be fun, unexpected. You'll submit both your GIMP file and the exported file named with your first and last name, surrealism.xcf for GIMP and .jpg. Let me just quickly show you how to do that. Remember when we said file save as, that was your .xcf file. That's the one you're going to submit for your GIMP file. Make sure that when you're done, you save it, okay, so that I have all of your work in there. Then you export it. File, export as, and you'll do your first and last name, Surrealism, and notice it automatically changes it to ping for you. I want you to do JPEG. A JPEG is a smaller file than a ping file. Go to JPEG, click export. In fact, before you hit export, if you could try to remember to slide this over, because I want to be able to see the horse, because you're going to optimize your file size real quick. So that's why you want to move this box over. If you don't slide it over and then you try to move the boxes around, this little box just goes behind the GIMP folder and you'll have to like minimize it, find it, pull it out front, resize everything. So it's so much easier. See, there it goes. It just hid from me. And I had to go and dig around and pull it back out. Oh, okay. So, you want that to be visible because when you're optimizing your file size, oh, I'm already at 408. Remember I said I wanted to be around 500. I'm going to just increase it slowly until I get to about 500. Perfect. Excellent quality, nice, sharp, crisp. I'm going to go ahead and, you know what though? I'm going to cancel this really quick because I think this image might be bigger than necessary. I'm going to notice down here it says I'm seeing my image at 59.3%. Let's go into image, scale image. All right, this is how you resize an image if it's too large. It is set at 72 pixels per inch. If your image is not 72, change it, make it 72. But let's change pixels to inches because I can think in inches. And that's 17 inches. That's really big. My computer screen is only like 10 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead, and these are locked, so it's going to, you'll notice if I change the width, it will start changing the height for me. I'm going to go ahead and decrease it to about that size and scale it down a little bit. So this is before I'm exporting it. Okay. Now look at 59%, it's smaller than my screen. Let's increase it to 100% and see. Oh, that's perfect. That's just the right size. I could make it a little bit bigger. If I wanted to do that, I could just hit Control Z to undo this scaling that I did, and I could go back in there and I could scale it just a little bit bigger if I wanted to, but I'm happy with this. So now I'm going to export it. Move this guy over, export. Oh, I don't want to export it as a ping, do I, guys? Nope. I'm going to select JPEG. I want to export it as a JPEG. That's how I get that option to optimize my size. What did I do? I left that right in the middle of my horse. I need to be able to see that. So make sure you move that over first so you can see your horse. Show your preview. That shows me how big that is. What happens if I bring it all the way up to 100%? It's perfect size, file size 400 kilobytes, and I'm going to go ahead and export it. Perfect. So now to submit, go back to your Project 3 Surrealism folder, click on your Dropbox. Just read the rubric real quick to make sure that you have done everything well and are going to earn all your points. You'll click Upload and go to your image design folder, wherever it is that you like to keep your things. And here I am. This is my JPEG file and this is my GIMP file, and I'm going to put them both in there. I'll hold down Control to select them both and upload them both at the same time. You'll notice that my GIMP file is uploading first. Takes a while to upload. There's a lot of data in there. That's the reason why you have to export and create that image, because you need to be able to publish it on the internet and you need it to upload quickly. But for all purposes of me being able to see your work, that's why I have you submit this. I generally will not grade your work unless you've submitted the GIMP file. If you are ever having issues with your file not loading, maybe it's too large. Go back and rescale your image so that it's a little smaller. And then as soon as that's done, you'll notice that whoop, that JPEG file just zipped up there really fast because it's so small. And if you need to leave me any comments, this is where you would do it. And then you'll just go ahead and click submit. If you don't click submit, just know that all you've done is uploaded. You haven't submitted yet. So make sure that you do that for me, okay? All right, good luck. And before you go, I just wanted to leave you with some student work examples.